This is a message about your inner beauty. I was working with Odin and the Nine Realms cards, and I found Idun, which she is the goddess of beauty. And she basically brings golden apples to the Aesir to give them long life and good health. So this is a message for you about self-care, is your food to bring about your inner beauty. So there's something here about bringing that inner beauty to the forefront. I don't know why I can't say it today. I feel like I can't speak. So this is, you have more beauty than you realise. You have good health and blessings more than you realise. But in order to realise them, there's an element of self-care that needs to go into it. So let's get into your runes. What are they telling us today? Okay, so algae. So this could be a time where maybe you are having to focus fully on yourself, maybe protecting yourself in certain situations, holding very healthy boundaries. So for some of you, it could be honouring your inner beauty by holding boundaries. But what I mean by that is sort of honouring yourself, you know? So I suppose what just popped into my head there, if you were, say, for instance, you've done yourself all nice and things like that, maybe you've dressed up with your glad rags on, and then someone said, oh, we're going to go and roll around in mud now or something. You might not, you know, really want to do that, but you feel like you have to. Or, do you know what I mean? Your boundary would be compromised in order to meet somebody else's needs, when actually for you, that's like, well, I don't want to do that because I've just got all scrubbed up and nice, you know? Now, there is a change in you with regards to healthy boundaries, how much you can protect yourself and how much you are now, instead of looking out the window what everybody else is doing and how well they're doing, realising actually I can do that for myself. And the only reason that people are enjoying themselves in that way is because they're focused on themselves. But you're not. You may be more focused on other people, on what they're doing. So right now you may feel maybe an isolation or a little bit of loneliness, an element of that could be stopping you from feeling like you're fulfilled, or that, you know, watching other people and feeling like they've got this wonderful lifestyle and you wish you had that kind of thing. But what you don't realise is that there's nothing stopping you from achieving those things for yourself and actually bringing that into your own life. But what you're lacking here is, how do I go about that? Or what, even how do I start that? What direction do I start with? Bear with me, I've left my cards somewhere out of reach. I'm actually going to use the Light Seers Tarot. You've probably seen these a lot. Okay, so how do you realise your own inner beauty? Ooh. The Knight of Pentacles, one step at a time. This could be for many of you about stabilisation. So, for instance, you know, if you are feeling like, oh, I want to treat myself, so you go and spend a load of money, but you can't really afford to do that, then you're kind of sabotaging yourself because you have then made it harder for yourself. Whereas if you were sort of like, oh, maybe I might get myself a little treat that doesn't cost very much, so then you've still got the money in the bank kind of thing, then that's security, that's stabilizing. So this is where your energy is right now, is like, that's what you need. That is your advice here to realize your inner beauty, is that slow and steady, taking one step at a time. So say, for instance, if you feel like you've got to, if it's on a physical level, for instance, and you feel like you've got to lose a lot of weight, or you want to go and get your hair done, or you, I don't know, maybe you want some plastic surgery or something like that, it's going to take time. It's going to be a process, but the journey is the destination in that sense. So it's, you start somewhere and you will feel great from just starting with one little thing. So one step at a time. What else can we tell you about this? Okay. The other thing is as well is, watch what you're saying to yourself. That inner critic, is it really the truth? Is it really constructive criticism that's going on in your own mind, in that little echo chamber that you've got going on there? You know, because there's something about how you talk to yourself that's creating an imbalance here, and it's not really the truth. So for some of you, this could actually be that you are maybe convincing yourself that something you're doing is what you want to be doing. because you don't want to acknowledge that actually you need to set a boundary there because that feels difficult, or maybe there's a conflict that could be involved with that. You know that there are certain aspects towards you realizing your inner beauty that is going to cause some pain, that is going to cause some emotional pain, maybe some heartache. But this is about you making those changes to better your lifestyle, to feel better in yourself, to know that you can trust yourself. You can trust yourself to bring your security, your safety to the forefront. Somebody could have walked through cobwebs recently. I feel like I've got cobwebs all over me. So maybe you've been in your garage or something like that, or in an area where you've had cobwebs come all over you. That is your confirmation of this message, if that is you. Now, part of this process of taking one step at a time in self-care is actually helping you to parent your inner child. It's helping you to walk hand in hand with that inner child. You know, times where maybe you felt you were neglected or weren't given the attention that you needed, or weren't made to feel proud about yourself as much as you thought you should or could. Well, there's a realization happening here about you knowing that actually it's down to me. You know, nobody's coming to save you. It's down to me. I have to do this for myself. I have to show my inner child that I am safe to be with, you know. And what that's going to lead to is actually something that you will continue. Maybe if you have children, you are teaching them then how to love themselves, how to have care for themselves, how to know and acknowledge their own inner beauty, and not let anybody or anything take that away from them. You know, everything you are doing right now, you are being watched, you are being observed. And it's about time you saw yourself from maybe like somebody else's perspective, but in a good light. You know, you're not seeing yourself, and it feels like you're watching everybody else thinking, oh, well, they've got it good, they've got this, why can't I have that? Well, you can, but you need to change your mindset on what you believe you are worth. Now, there's an element of impatience here. It's almost like you don't want to have to take it slow. You want to just jump from one point to another. It's like you want to jump from A to D. You want to cut out B and C. But you can't do that because it's a process. And along that process, you are learning something. But there's something you don't want to look at. There's kind of something you're sat on the fence with here that you don't want to change at the moment. That feels like it could be a boundary. I'm getting the sense that a sudden change is coming to that situation where that boundary will be made. It will be put into place because you've kind of been asking about it, asking for some guidance and help with it. And I feel like divine intervention is actually gonna happen. You've got to trust the process on that. You may go through a period of feeling like, here we go again. I'm at hit rock bottom, or I've got to pick up my stuff again, or I've got to move again. Or there's something that's going to be a bit, I can't believe I've got to go through this again. Okay. But I feel if you do have to go through this again, it will be the last time you will ever go through that again, because what comes next is the Queen of Wands, which this is someone who knows their power. They know their beauty. They know the power that they have with that beauty, and they aren't going to let themselves be taken for granted anymore. They're not going to allow this beauty, this kindness, this giving and loving energy to just be taken for granted. Okay, it's either respected or it doesn't happen. And I feel like that's where you've got it to now. You are being offered that golden apple by Idun. You are being offered that. What is your fear in taking it? I don't believe that. We just saw the Queen of Wands, and now I've pulled out the King of Wands. If you have a fear around a relationship or a connection with a masculine in your life here, then I feel like actually you doing this for yourself is what is making them feel more confident in themselves. There's still this energy of like, but I can't, I feel like that's what you can't let go of. It feels like a relationship actually, or some kind of connection here. What can we tell you about that? You don't need to fear that. What's meant for you is not going to pass you by, and it is on its way to you. But this is about self-care. You need to get on this first in order for everything to be right in this situation. Drop me a DM if this resonates with you. I'd love to go deeper into this. Have a blessed day.